What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to once again another video. Today we're going to be talking about the best weapons in each weapon class within Warzone Battle Royale. Now, the weapons perform a little bit differently in Battle Royale than they do in the actual multiplayer and Spec Ops, so I thought I would talk about the best and top weapons within each weapon category and how they perform compared to the rest of them. For the smaller categories like the shotguns and snipers, I'm only going to be picking my top 2 weapons to use within each weapon category. But for some of the bigger ones like the assault rifles and the submachine guns, I will be picking 3 weapons to use. This video is for those who are struggling to build powerful loadouts, whether they be free-to-play players or are struggling to find a weapon from multiplayer that they enjoy to carry over into Warzone. Now, keep in mind, you can buy Warzone loadouts within the game multiple times, so you can end up carrying multiple primaries around. So if this helps you build your loadout at all, that's kind of the goal of the video. Starting off with the assault rifles, I personally enjoy 3 assault rifles within the game. The M13 is my go-to fully auto assault rifle that hits hard at close to medium ranges with its fast and accurate fire rate, as well as it can down people if you are accurate with it at long ranges. I never put it in semi-auto mode. I always keep it in fully auto. It's my favorite assault rifle within Warzone. I end up using the FAL quite a bit, surprisingly. I don't really like it in multiplayer. It is a one-shot in hardcore, but the damage output is a little low for core game modes. However, within Warzone, throw a sniper scope on it if you don't have a sniper on your class, and you can down enemies at long range very easily. If you put a red dot on it or a reflex sight at close ranges with a fast trigger finger, you can down enemies extremely fast. Also, the last gun I use is the SCAR. The SCAR is a slow firing fully auto assault rifle that packs a bunch of damage in a short amount of time. If you are accurate and hit upper body shots, in any scenario, you will be downing enemies extremely fast. The SCAR is a bare bones weapon that you tend to find on the ground at the beginning of the game, but with the right attachments that suit your playstyle and reduce the recoil, the SCAR is going to be a really good weapon within Warzone. Moving on to the submachine guns, it's not going to be any surprise that my favorite is going to be the P90. The blue rarity P90 that you pick up off the ground in the early game can down enemies in close to medium range very easily with its very accurate and very fast fire rate. Similar to the M13, however, it is way better in close quarters situations. There will be tons of times where a full team can push me and I will be able to knock them down completely. The second SMG that I tend to use a lot is the MP7. Once again, a super fast fire rate and a very easy recoil pattern to combat and control it just to get a more accurate spread. I like to add attachments that increase its damage range so I can down enemies at medium range really fast. However, I tend to keep this as a secondary. I don't really ever use the MP5 as a primary. And the third submachine gun, surprisingly, is not the MP5, it's the Bison. The Bison has a lot of damage output with a big magazine. This means if you're in a situation where you and your team are pushing a different team that has a lot of armor, you don't have to worry about reloading. As well as the gun has a medium fire rate compared to the rest of the submachine guns, so you'll be causing lots of damage, as well as the accuracy is really good. I recommend running a reflex sight just to have that little bit of an extra balance with the gun, just because I'm not a huge fan with the iron sights at close ranges, but man, the Bison, I love it. Going into the shotguns now, I'm only going to pick 2 shotguns. My favorite shotgun is the R90. I mean, it's not really a surprise. In close range scenarios, the R90 downs enemies extremely fast. Most times, you can one burst, or I guess if you 2 pump an enemy, they will go down. That's really all I can say about the R90. It's a fantastic gun to use, and I really enjoy it. The second shotgun, surprisingly, is the Origin 12. Being a semi-auto, fast-firing shotgun in close range scenarios where you're going to be using shotguns, you can down enemies very quickly. Going into the LMGs now, I only really have 2 LMGs that I like using in the game, the PKM and the M91. Both LMGs with the right attachments and the right scopes will hit hard in medium to long ranges, as well as the attachments to increase your accuracy will benefit you tons within the game itself. Going into my favorite snipers slash marksman rifles, I have two go-tos, and that is the AX50 and the HDR. They're kind of interchangeable to me because they have a really good damage output and really good accuracy, and they're snipers, so they're gonna down enemies very fast. However, surprisingly, my third go-to, if I had to pick one, would be the crossbow. Now, the crossbow does take a long time to get used to how the bolt travels and to get travel times down and tracking times down, but once you get good with the crossbow, if you have an explosive tip or a thermite tip, once you stick an enemy, you are guaranteed to down them. The thermite tip will melt through their armor and then slowly burn them to death, and the explosive tip will just stick them and explode, knocking them down. It is basically a one-shot kill, regardless of where you hit them with those two tips. And yeah, unless they have a bunch of extra armor or a stim, they're gonna go down once you hit them, so I really enjoy the crossbow. Talking about the melee weapons right now, obviously there's only two. Both melee weapons are good in different situations. I never really used the knife. I used it once, stabbed the guy, got a kill, downed instantly from his team after. However, the riot shield is my go-to melee weapon. Not only can it 2-hit enemies if they are low on armor, or 3-hit enemies if they are full on armor, you can hold down an open field very easily. If you have a bunch of snipers sniping at you, you just pull out your riot shield, they can't hit you. You can go to wherever you have cover to switch to your primary, get some easy kills. Also, the riot shield blocking a bunch of bullets from different angles can help you in certain situations. If you're in a close quarters situation where you're trying to escape or trying to capture an objective, holding out that riot shield will stop you and your team from getting damaged, giving your team and you a better opportunity to kill enemies. The pistols, I really only use one pistol, and that's the 357 with the Kimbo snake shots. Most of the pistols don't really have a use within Warzone except for very early game scenarios and when you come back from the gulag, but that is basically just going to be the X16 because by the time you land and start looting, you will pick up an MP5 or a SCAR. However, if you put the 357 with the Kimbo snake shots on your class, it outclasses shotguns at close ranges. I have gotten to gunfights with 7.25s, the R9Os, even RPGs at close ranges. The 357 dominates. I'm going to have some gameplay on screen for this section where we win a game with the snake shots. It's so dominant, it's not even funny. If you and your team all have akimbo snake shots, when a team is pushing you in close ranges or you're pushing an enemy team in close ranges, your team is going to win 99% of the time. Honestly, I can't think of a time where I've gotten in the gunfight within the past week with the 357s that I've lost at close ranges. Going into the last category, which is going to be the launchers right now, I have two launchers that I like to use, the Joker and the RPG. The Pila and the Strela are basically, in my opinion, weaker versions of those weapons in Battle Royale. The reason being, the Pila can lock on to helicopters and vehicles very fast. However, the damage isn't that good compared to the Joker. The Strela is more accurate and faster than the RPG, but the explosion is also smaller. The RPG at close ranges is insane. You can get easy kills even if they have 2 plates of armor, and you can instantly down an enemy if you direct impact them regardless of how much armor or health they have. The Joker is great because if there's a bunch of enemies camping on top of a high hill or a building, you can lock onto it with the Joker and shoot your launcher up in the air, and you will get some very, very easy kills from it as well, as it also does lock onto vehicles, scaring enemies out of them to get some easy kills with your primary weapon. Both launchers pack a bunch of damage and are good in different scenarios. Those are my favorite weapons in each category. Let me know if you guys differ in opinion down below in the comments below. Keep in mind this video is kind of helping those who are new to the game, don't really have that knowledge of Warzone that I have with like my 2-day playtime already. Hashtag we love quarantine. And yeah, leave a like if you guys did enjoy, dislike if you didn't. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future for Warzone videos in my Discord, which is linked down below in the description, as well as some other social media stuff. I'm about to head out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more in the future, and I'll see you, if there is one, in the next one. Peace.